Shalom, man. Shalom. Coming to you guys late night. Well, it's not late, but it's late. Late night, man. I hope everybody had a good Sabbath day. There's a lot going on in the earth today, but one thing that went on positive in the earth today was our homeless event. I would say it was a success. Shalom and Thawada, thank you for everybody that participated, sponsored, donated, shared the word, sent money, sent dropped off clothes, dropped off food. It all was needed and it all went to use. And we did some great things in downtown Macon, Georgia, Macanja, Mactown, and the 478. So we'll keep y'all posted on the next one we have. You know what I'm saying? This is written even in the Torah that, you know, if you've been keeping up with the brother Obadiah's, that's in the law series, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you would know we got to take care of our homeless. But moving forward, we got a good lesson tonight for the Sabbath class. It's not going into the war that's going on right now that everybody is paying attention to. But it is going into another hot topic, right? It's going into another hot topic that has been surfacing on social medias, right? And, you know, that hot topic is Greek life. Right, so I got one video we're gonna play and then some precepts to play. The title of today's lesson is "It'll Come a Time." There will be a time when you got to make a decision. There will be a time where you're gonna be uncomfortable. There will be a time where you're gonna have to do the unpopular thing. Right? It will come a time, and what you do in that moment is going to prove and show God who you are and if you're worthy of His kingdom. So before we get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation. And that nation is Israel. I'm going to share my screen and play the blowing of the shofar. Shalom to the commandment keepers, the 12 tribes, and shalom to the cleavers. Come on, man. So let me pull this video up real quick. Pause that. This is on Instagram. It's on the gram, man. And he said some things, man. I don't know if he was ever a part of an organization, but he's saying some things about these organizations that I would say are pretty enlightening, right? So let's listen up.
Be washed in the blood, and also to have pledged to a fraternity or sorority. And anytime you make a pledge, everybody who's in it, if you watch it, you know that if you have pledged, there's an entity, there's a God, there's a name, there is someone that you were talking to. You don't pledge to the air.
You don't pledge to the air, man. If you're making a pledge, you're pledging to something.
That's a good point.
You're pledging, so you know, everybody can play dumb, but what are you pledging to? Because the first thing somebody will ask you if you went to a HBCU is, did you pledge? Or the first thing somebody will say is, I pledged at. What are you pledging to? And what was the pledge? Right? It's stuff that's been saying, that's just been being said. That when you make a pledge, it's to something, for something.
You don't pledge to nothing. It was directed to some entity. And the Bible teaches, wherefore come out from among them, be separate, saith the Lord. These people, they behave like religions. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe me, wait till one of them die. Go to the funeral.
Go ahead.
I just thought about this. I remember one time, man, we had went to Albany State. Me, Baruch, and Nehemiah. We went out there to teach the word. It was an event going on. I don't know what event was going on, but it was a lot of people out there. And I remember we was out there teaching, right? And barely a few people paid us mind. I think we had the microphone, was out there teaching. Only a few people paid us mind. But as soon as them AKAs came out, well, any of the ones that say ski wee, them AKAs, they came out with the ski wee in the line, walking down the tunnel, by the student center. Everybody clapping and running over there where they at, clapping, and but like that shows you, man, that the world is so caught up in folly and madness. You got brothers right here teaching the Bible, teaching the word, right? And you have these people come and walk out. Now everybody paying attention to them instead of the word, man. But that just shows how true the Bible is, though. Because
Y'all probably was teaching on their Founders Day, bro.
probably what it was. It probably was. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of them out there.
Either that or it was a probate. But yeah, man, and that's how life is set up. That's how the Most High has set up life, is that the thing that's good for your eternal health is right before your eyes, right? But he's gonna also set an obstacle up for you. He's gonna put the pleasures and the cares of life up at the same time, and he's gonna expect you to focus on the thing that's good for your eternal eyes. But the only people that are gonna focus on the things that are good for your internal eyes are the spiritually awakened. If you're spiritually dead, right? If you don't have the spirit within you, guess what? You're going to pay attention to all the folly and madness that's going on, that's pleasuring yourself, that's pleasuring your flesh, right? Dang, it just escaped my memory, my train of thought, where I was going with that. But Con, man.
Only religions give last rites. That's right. That's right. Only religions do things like that. Only religions pray over you and do those things when you are deceased.
Right, man. We used to, when we was in Omega Psi Phi, we used to sing songs about making it to Omega Land and Omega Chapter. And whenever you die or something, they say they'll usher you into Omega Chapter, right? They don't talk about heaven. They talk about the streets are paved with purple and gold. There's hymns and songs that say that the streets are, and we ain't talking about IUIC. They said the streets is paved with purple and gold. They said, and that man Moses was an Omega man. They're saying that people in the Bible were Q dogs, right? These are religions, right? Because they live by a code of ethics. They worship a certain way. They religiously keep a set of principles. They're full-blown religions. People give money to them, right?
And yet these people do it. They do it in churches. They have rituals. So it is a quasi.
Then you got to ask yourself, hey, I know y'all say that y'all not demonic, but is it true that y'all have a ritual book? That just sounds, and if they say, yeah, it's like, bro, so y'all not demonic, but y'all have a ritual book? What's in it? Oh, I can't tell you that. I can't. Why you can't tell me what's in your ritual? Off rip, it's not looking good for y'all, man. So y'all can play dumb all you want. They can play dumb all they want to, but the fact that they have a ritual book lets you know it's not the only book that the Most High God said you shouldn't add or subtract to his book. And that's the instructions of life. And you're supposed to choose life. If you giving into any other book, right, that's gonna, that you want to hold dear to your heart and so secret that you don't want to tell nobody what's in it, man, that's idolatry. You picked another God off rip. That's going against the 10 Commandments. That's biting from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, man.
It acts like a religion. It behaves like a religion. And it is indeed a religion. And you're into something that, you won't even tell us what you said to become a part of it. But if I ask you, how did you get to know Jesus? You'll tell me that. See, you'll talk about that. What did Jesus do for you? You'll talk about that. Okay, you're in a fraternity. What did you say? You're in a sorority. What's the words of your pledge? They won't talk about that.
Right, man. And what you hiding it for? What you hiding it for? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of them don't even know why they can't say what they say. They just know it's been told to them. Don't tell nobody.
A lot of them will. A lot of them can't even remember what they said.
Yeah, a lot of them, they don't even recollect anything, and they don't even go back themselves. Like a lot of the reason why a lot of people deny it is because they don't understand. They literally don't understand what they did, and they're too scared to go back and confront something they did, right? Because they know it makes them look foolish because they weren't paying attention to it.
Yeah, man. You take these 18, 19, 20-year-olds, man, and you got them blindfolded, and you in this room, and somebody tells you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. They not remembering what they said, right? But the smart ones, like Brother Azrael was saying, will go back and see. Let me see exactly what they had me saying, and then right there, man, you got the choice to say like, "Hey, I don't agree with this," or turn a blind eye to it. And a lot of you guys should, a lot of people now, especially in 2026, is coming to the fact that they didn't agree with what they had said, and they're denouncing that thing, right?
Come on, go ahead, Obadiah.
Yeah, man, like that brother said that y'all showed on Facebook when he said, y'all wouldn't know Jesus. What he said? What he said? Y'all didn't know Jesus until y'all. What he said? Some crazy stuff, man. I had it on my phone. I can't remember what buddy said.
But
Y'all
yeah,
know what I'm talking about.
but yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I got what he said verbatim.
You know, um, for example, it would be like you talking to your kids, right? For example, my son, he may be able to sing his ABCs. He'll sing A, B, C, D, E, F. But if you show him one of the letters that he just said, he act like he don't know what it is, right? And then you say, you know what it is. You just said it. And he'll be like, no, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. You just said it. What you mean? They're acting like that, but the difference is these are grown people, right? There's a spirit on them to where they literally can't make sense. They're confused, but they're so confused they're lost in their pride to where they think they're right. They think that they are smart because somebody has told them that they're smart and that they're the top of their class and that they're elite. And so because somebody has pumped that into them, they'll never listen to somebody that's not a part of it, and they won't listen to nobody that leaves it. They see them people that leave it as sellouts or traitors. Go ahead, Obadiah.
I found it. He said, "Oh, no, it's a girl. It was a sister that said this." He said, "Y'all ain't know Jesus before y'all pledged and crossed. I ain't denouncing shh." So people can, like brother was saying before when we was talking. A lot of people didn't even watch the video of that sister going into her history of Delta. They don't watch it because they don't want to feel like, dang, I gotta denounce because that's off. They'd rather not watch it, but they'll go make posts saying I'm not denouncing. They won't, but instead of them going to listen to what she got to say, because she said she was actually, then she said she brought 4 lines over. So she was in this thing, you know what I'm saying? She was in this thing. But a lot of people don't want to pay attention because they love the fame they get in their fraternity and sorority. They love the benefits that they get. They'd rather keep doing that instead of just repent and, like the brother saying, go back in your ritual book and see what you were saying. Because
One thing that she said in the video that you mentioned, for those that don't know, it was a lady that had a viral video kind of going around of her denouncing and why other people should denounce. And one thing she said that stood out to me too was, when you sell your soul, you're selling your soul for something. You're selling it to become a god. You're selling it to be worshipped. When you think about people in the music industry, entertainment business, when we know that these people are selling their souls, it's to be famous and to have money, right? It's nothing different with the Divine Nine, so that they say, or Greek fraternities. They sell their souls to become gods. They love being worshipped. And she made the good point of That's why you could see super old people putting on their paraphernalia and going back to homecoming every year. You don't have nothing better to do but to go and burn up in the sun and go to homecoming and drink and wear your paraphernalia and expect people to worship you and respect people to show up to your Greek fraternity tent. And come on now, it's deeper than that. A lot of this is people, just our people, they want a sense of belonging. They want a sense of something to take pride in, right? And much like a lot of us that run to different religions and denominations, they can't find it. But as soon as they find a little bit of pleasure, they're gonna hold on to it and not let go of it. And they will be dang if you come against it.
Wives won't tell their husbands.
Wives won't even tell their husbands about it. And you telling me, come on now.
Won't tell their wives.
Husband, we've witnessed this. Husbands won't tell their wives stuff. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And you saying this is of God?
Now, you know that has no place in the Christian church. Claim to be washed in the blood and also to have pledged to a fraternity or sorority. And anytime you make a pledge, everybody who's in it, if you watch it, you know that if you have pledged, there's an entity,
right. So let's get into some of these precepts real quick, man. Since we're in the spirit of Purim, I want to start off in Esther, right? I want to start off in Esther. If you know anything about Esther, Esther was an Israelite, and she entered a contest to be the wife or the queen of a Persian king, and she won, and she became that Persian queen's wife and the queen, and she ended up saving her countrymen, her nation of Israelites, her fellow Israelites. How did she do that? Because she asked the king to make provisions for them, right? But I wanted to read right here in Esther 4. I want to start at hold on, Esther 4 and Salakia. Did I put which one I wanted? Esther 4. Okay, starting at verse 10. All right, we're gonna read from verse 10. Esther 4 and 10. Can you read that?
Come,
let's go through it. Esther 4 and 10.
Esther 4 and 10, it says, again, Esther spake unto Hatak and gave him commandment unto Mordecai.
Right? So Esther was speaking to her uncle Mordecai through through messengers, right? She's in the palace, and Mordecai's outside the gate. But Mordecai's trying to tell her, hey, look, they're persecuting our people, they're oppressing our people, they're making us poor, they're making us hungry, they're taking all of our money, right? And he came to Esther, and Esther is trying to talk to him on the sly, right? Let's read verse 11.
All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days.
Right. So Esther, she ain't seen her husband in about 30 days. He's been doing king work, right? Whatever. And so Mordecai's like, man, you got to talk to your husband because he could save us out of this. And Esther's like, you know what? I'm scared. She's telling him, I'm scared. I can't come against, the king. He'll put people to death. And I'm reading this because, when we talk about these Greek fraternities, You may feel like Esther, you may feel scared to denounce and to leave and to stand up to your line brothers and line sisters and frat. You may feel like you're gonna get persecuted. You may feel like some of them might want to fight you. You may feel like your job. You might have just got a good job because of your organization. The person that you're connect you with that job may take that job back. It don't matter. You may be feeling like Esther, but like this class's title, it'll come a time where you gotta make a decision, man. You're gonna do the uncomfortable thing and take everything, all the bad consequences that come with it because you know it's the right thing to do, or you're gonna, take the easy road out and just, continue to push lies and allow your people to be lost. Right? Go ahead, Obadiah.
One thing that stood out to me from that sister video, I think one of her line sisters came to her and was like, you doing like you can't be saying all this, you gonna get me or get us thrown in jail. And she was like, you worry about getting thrown in jail? You ain't worry about getting in trouble with God?
She was like,
Like,
you worry about going to jail, but you're not worried about going to hell.
oh, that's what she said. That's what she said. Yeah. And she made a good point. A lot of our people are so focused on now. They're not focusing on what's to come. They're not focusing on it's a judgment at the end of your life. That the girl worried about jail, but she not worried about on judgment day. The Most High God got all of these things she done did, and all of these things she done did to people in this organization. They're not thinking about that. So that sister made a good point. You should be worried about hell. You should be worried about that lake of fire. You should be worried about the Lord judging you instead of just jail. Like, come on, man.
Come on, man. And a lot of these people, man, they won't tell you, but when they go to sleep at night, I know because I used to be one of these people to do it. I used to be afraid to watch denouncing videos. I used to not afraid, but I was telling myself I was too good, and they didn't know what they was talking about, and I'm secure in my faith, and I go to church every Sunday, and I got a relationship with God. But what they won't tell you is before they go to sleep, all of them are, they say a prayer and they say, God, if I'm doing the wrong thing, please forgive me. Right?
Or they'll hit you. I know the majority of people, man, that are giving any attention to this, they'll hit you with a prayer like, Lord, if this isn't the right thing to do, show me, or something like that. Even though there's all these videos and all that stuff, they'll say that, right? Because deep down there in their heart, man, they know for a fact that it could be off, it could be wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And they're waiting on that sign, even though the sign's been in their face this whole time.
They'll go to sleep. Jesus, you know my heart, Jesus. And if it wasn't of you and it was clear, I would throw it away. But if it is of you and I'm messing up, please forgive me. For I know not what I do. They'll pray stuff like that, man, and think that they're good. But just like the brother Obadiah said, man, this thing is serious, man. This is your life and your soul at stake for eternity. If you were to die tomorrow, I'm sorry to say it, if you was invested in that stuff, you're not going to be in the kingdom, bro. You're not making it to the kingdom on judgment day. No matter how much of a good person you think you are, no matter how much of I didn't do nothing bad, you think come on, bro. It's the little things. And when I say the little things, it's the things you say. If you make an oath, if you make a pledge to an entity in a book of rites, a ritual book, the Most High God takes that. He don't take that lightly. Right?
The Most High is gonna give you. The Most High is gonna give you what you want, man. Right? The Most High, He gonna say you say you wanted to go to Omega Land. All right, well, I'm gonna send you to Omega Land. Then you ain't going to my kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That's what you wanted.
Right. And the Most High God, like, you got to read your Bible. When you read your Bible, you understand the significance of pledges and oaths. You understand the significance of sacrifices. You understand the significance that other gods have played in the Bible. Like, you'll understand that this is a spiritual world, a spiritual realm, and the things that you align yourself with is you picking a side. Pecan, go ahead, Obadiah.
I was gonna say, man, and it really boils down to like question what you was doing and what you was being taught. Like where in the Bible does it says Moses was a Q dog? Where in the Bible it says the streets gonna be paved with what, purple and gold? So for it to be a Christian based organization, it's teaching you things that's not in the Bible. You can't find in the Bible where it says these things. So that should be a sign to go back and read your ritual book and try to line it up with the Bible and see does it line up with the Bible. And if it don't,
Always,
you know what to do.
I always thought that was so stupid, man. You talking about Moses and Adam were members of Omega Psi Phi, but Omega Psi Phi wasn't founded until 1911. It's like, but you know, you got some people that deep down in their hearts of hearts really be like, man, if they could be, I know they would be a Q dog though. No, brother, they would want to be Israelites probably, bro.
Right. Used to ride around with a license plate tag that said Omega Psi Phi in Christ. All right. What is that? What is that? Is, you know, that's an oxymoron. Christ ain't died for Omega Psi Phi. He didn't. Right. Last time I checked, he said there's no Jew nor Greek. There's no Greek. Right. But nonetheless, let's pick up back up in verse 12.
Verse 12, and they told to Mordecai Esther's word. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
All right, so Mordecai is pretty much telling you got to have a friend that's gonna tell you it's gonna come a time you got to pick a side, bro. I know it don't feel good, and I know you're scared, but you gotta, you gotta think now. Think this is deeper than you, right? Read verse 14.
Verse 14. For if thou altogether holdeth thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Right. You know what I'm saying? You could be the difference maker, man. You feeling the Lord speak to you. It comes a time when you got to make that decision, man, because you never know why the Lord lines certain things up, had you go through certain experiences, right? And you got to be able to see that, and you got to be able to make that move, not only for you, but for your people. There's people that's looking up to you that you don't know. There's people that, you know what I'm saying, that say, you know what, so-and-so did it, so it must be okay, right? You got to be able to stand up for your people and the laws of your God, man. Stop giving into the lust and the pride of this life, right? He said, love not the world. But what we're seeing is a lot of people that are in love with the world. They love the world so much that they'll defend the world from God. All right, let's read this. Hebrews 11 and 24.
Hebrews 11 and 20. Oh, my bad.
Hebrews 11 and 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
Right, you got to refuse, even when they want you to. They might want you back in the organization, right? They wanted Moses to be, come back to the palace, man. Hey, man, what you doing, man? Come back and take your rightful seat as a ruler in Egypt, right? They're gonna want you, but you gotta refuse to be called by what they want to call you. They give you line names and all that. You gotta refuse to be called by that, bro. That's not who you are, right? Read verse 25.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season.
Right. All y'all want to enjoy a pleasure of sin for a season, because you're gonna get older and it's not gonna mean a hill of beans. When you graduate, nobody gonna care. That's why you go back to homecoming, because nobody cares. So you're trying to go back to the only place that's gonna care. You're suffering sin for the pleasures of sin for a season. It's gonna be and so what's the point of being proud in that? You got to choose rather to suffer the afflictions. Be a normal person for the sake of God. Yeah, I know that you don't get the fame and all the clout, and you don't get all the likes on Instagram, and you don't get to, walk around the gym and walk around the mall and your paraphernalia and your colors. But man, choose God over those things, man. Choose God over the riches of the world. Who cares if you can't rule in Egypt no more? right? You got to be like Moses and say, you know what? I'm rocking with God and what God called me. And some people may say, man, you crazy. You gave that all up. You gave that all up. You crazy. I would never did that. Well, you, my brother, that's the reason, you not Moses. And you not the chosen. You probably not part of the elect. You worried about the world too much. Right? Let's read this. First Maccabees 2:27.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Right? And he's saying this to the Greeks. He's saying this to come against the Greeks, right? Because he know a lot of his people, they willing to be like the Greeks. He said, hey, look, if you zealous of God's law and you want to maintain the covenant God made with our people, why is he saying that? Because the moment that you give in to the Greeks, I'm sure it's Israelites back then that, there's like, bro, we're not giving up the covenant. They just want us to, they want us to do this a little bit. They want us to say this, but we know deep inside, it's not about that, bro. You breaking that covenant. The moment you denounce the moment you join with them, you're denouncing something, regardless. You're either denouncing God or you're denouncing them. It's one or the other. So you can't have both sides, and that's the thing. Like the Facebook post that the brother Obadiah read earlier, right? You must didn't know Jesus before you joined. I'm not denouncing. You can't know Jesus and be a part of it. You can't know Jesus and join. I'm here. Me and Denal was talking about that in the truck the other day. You are deceiving yourself. You can't be inside. Me and Denal was inside of a fraternity. We had to look back and say, you know what? We did not know Christ. Even though we thought we did not know him. Y'all don't know him because it's either one side or the other. That's why Mattathias is talking to the Israelites to say, hey, it's either you're gonna not maintain the covenant and go with the Greeks, or you're gonna maintain the covenant. It's no gray area. It's no gray area, right? And just to prove that, let's get First Maccabees 1 and 11.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days when there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Right. Hey, there's a way that we can become Masons, man. We just got to do these Greek fraternities, and we could be like the white man. We could be like the Greeks, and we'll get good jobs. We'll get respect. We'll be seen as elite, and guess what? They'll go right out of being Israel. And when they went from being Israel, they broke the covenant, and they're gonna persuade many. Man, they starting in middle school. They doing Greek fraternity. They doing college step shows at middle schools. They're your coach. They're your teacher. They're your stepdad, right? They persuade many at an early age. Let us go make a covenant with the heathen. That's what's going on right now. And what the Bible called them, wicked. It called them wicked. When you want to accept every covenant except for the covenant of God, you're wicked. And that's what you're doing when you're making a pledge or an oath to these organizations, is you're making a covenant. You're saying that I'm going to sign up to give my love, my efforts, and my actions to this entity, to this organization. Making a covenant. And you're saying, I won't do this, I won't do that. If I do this, then I agree that this will happen. That's what you're making covenants. And when you make a covenant with anything else besides God's covenant, you break it. Right, let's read this, Matthew 10 and 28.
I had a point real quick, King.
Go ahead.
When you read like Deuteronomy chapter 6, it's going into like how you're supposed to teach the commandments in the law to your sons, your children's. But now, to that scripture you had just pulled, when they had made a covenant with the heathen, now is let's teach them Greek life. Let's go ahead and I was a Q dog, my daddy was a Q dog. Now I know my son gonna be a Q dog. This running the family.
And they call that being legacy in Greek life.
Legacy.
They call that being legacy.
So in a sense, on the spiritual level, it's like you sacrificing your child to Molech. Cause you already giving your child over to a God. He or she don't even get a chance to even know about the God of Israel, because when they small, you already saying they're gonna be a AKA. So you breeding them, right? You breeding them up, and they grow up. They got no choice. They feel like I gotta be an AKA because my family was, and if I'm not one, I'm gonna be looked at as weird, and I'm gonna be an outcast to my family. So they feel like I gotta be that, you know. But the Bible says we're supposed to be teaching our kids and our sons the laws and commandments of God, not how to be an AKA or be a Delta or whatever. No.
Right. What did the Bible say also in the book of Maccabees? Not setting by the glory of their fathers to be an Israelite, but liking uh the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Let me pull that up. You got it.
We don't need to pull it up. We don't need to pull it up. But just know that, you know, we have a legacy here with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the only way the earth is going to, like our previous video, acknowledge that legacy is if we take claim to it again. If we're too busy trying to be like everybody else, the earth is not going to be able to acknowledge who God's chosen people are. They're still going to be lost, right? Let's read this real quick. Matthew 10 and 28.
Is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right. A lot of times, man, you fear the opinions of people. A lot of times, man, you fear the fact that you may look like a hypocrite because you done posted so many posts about this organization and how it's changed your life, and I'm a better man or a woman for it, and I have so much fun, and the brotherhood and sisterhood is so lovely, and this is my sis, and this is my sud, this is my sword, this is my frat. A lot of times, man, all that gets to your head, but you gotta, like the brother Obadiah said, you gotta stop thinking in the moment, think in the future. There's somebody that's gonna kill you for that. That temporary pleasure is only gonna last for a moment. It's gonna seem like a blink of an eye when you're standing there on Judgment Day, right? And these people don't really care about you for real. They don't really care about you for real. I don't care if they support you and they show up when they don't care about you for real. You know, there's some people that care about people, and there's, you know, but the majority of people don't really care about you, right? Because if you were to die, they may be sad for one day, and that one day is your funeral, and after that, they going back to making money in their regular life. Now, there's some people that, you know, when somebody died that they close to, you know, they tore up for some months, maybe years, right? Those are people that actually care. But I'm gonna tell you right now, majority of these people, they don't care about you, right? You just a number. You just a color. They just want some more color. They want some more pink and green in the background. Come on, son. They want some more purple and gold in the background. You just a number and a color, bro. And when you go, there's still gonna be some more people, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, man, kind of like Forex. You know, the people that do Forex, they're trying to get you to join Forex. You know, so trying to get you. They're trying to get you to join Forex, just so it can be another body, right? Another body, and they can make money basically. So it's kind of the same thing with these fraternities and sororities. You just another face. You like in sports too, right? You say you play on a high level, you get hurt, something happened to you, they moving on to the next person. They don't care nothing about you. They moving on. If you can't play no more, who cares? They finna get another person that put you in that spot, put them in that spot you was at. It's the same thing with these fraternities and sororities. When you gone, like the brother said, they might cry for a day, you know. But when that party come next week, you think they finna think about you when they pouring up?
Right.
No, it's over with.
They done forgot about you by the next homecoming. But check this out. Let me ask you something. If it's of Christ, right? Has Christ ever accidentally killed somebody? Has Christ ever accidentally killed somebody? Did any of Christ's disciples, the gang that he used to ride around with, did they ever rape anybody, grape anybody? You got to ask yourself these questions. You saying that Christ is in your life, but you're aligning yourself with people that Christ would not align himself with. So you got to ask yourself these. Well, that's them. That's not me. Everybody's different. No, you got to ask yourself, bro. Because if it's happening over and over and over again, it might just be that entity causing it to happen. Remember, I said everything is spiritual.
Not to mention, man, about just about every fraternity I know has chance. If not chance, they actually do it. Talking about sleeping with other people's women, right? Not respecting somebody's, even if we talking about girlfriends, we know the Bible don't talk about girlfriends, right? You know what I'm saying? But almost every fraternity I know, they make it their mission to not care about anybody's significant other, bro. That they would try to sleep with other people's significant others, bro. Right. And it's a prominent thing. I mean, you talk about Omega Psi Phi, man, it's almost in all their chants. But you're saved though, and you got a relationship with Jesus, right? But you going around chanting, I'm an adulterer and I want to be, and I love it.
I'm an adulterer. This is what y'all are saying, right? And y'all don't see it, but it's spiritual. I'm an adulterer. I'm a fornicator. I'm an adulterer. I hate God. I hate God. That's what y'all are saying, bro. That's what God hear. That's what God hear. And the sad thing is, man, the sad thing is that you know they really think that they're benefiting people by just their presence, not by the things that they do, but just by them being them and a part of the organization. They think that they're helping community, right? Because if you had asked them, how are y'all even helping the community? What are y'all doing? Well, we gave out turkeys. How many turkeys y'all give out? We gave about 20. So 20 turkeys is helping the community. How y'all?
And
We
then
gave
you probably gave it to people that you knew that didn't really even need a turkey.
Right. He told them that, hey, come over. We're giving out free turkeys. Took some pictures. You're giving out free car washes. Okay, how is that helping the community though? Y'all marching. How is that helping the community though? What are y'all doing that's so beneficial to the community? Because y'all say that y'all all about community. How are y'all helping the community? Because all we see is parties, chants, drama, killings, charges. That's all we see. We don't see how y'all helping the community. You got to
Right,
ask.
man.
Even when I was inside, if somebody were to ask me, hey, so what do y'all do to help the community? We don't do nothing, bro.
Nothing.
We don't do nothing.
Nothing at all. And it's crazy, man. If you just think about it, man, I know for experience, man, from being in a fraternity, you literally break every single 10 commandments of the Big 10. You literally break every single last one of them, man. There's not one that you don't break. Even down to killing.
Yeah. Coveting.
Stealing.
Hey, it said in Leviticus 19 and 27 to 28, no, don't make no marks upon you, or they say, neither should I print any marks upon you for the dead. But when you get branded, you put a mark that you think that's of the Lord. You burning yourself,
Right.
you harming yourself.
Not even just that. It's just the fact that you're putting you're branding yourself for another entity.
Exactly.
Right? You're branding it for another God, another entity, stamping it on you for life, another God on you for life, right? And that's the part that breaking covenants. Everything that you do in these organizations causes you to break covenant, right? Let's get this next precept. Jeremiah 17 and 4 and 5.
Jeremiah 7. My bad.
Is your turn?
I'm not sure. Jeremiah 17 and 4, though. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Right. We're in a predicament right now because of trying to be like other nations. But this is the point, right? Verse 5.
Verse number 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord.
Right? Their hearts have departed from the Lord because their hearts want their organization. Their heart glories in their organization. And like I said, you can't do both. So it departs from the Lord, and they trust in man when man says, nah, man, it's a Christian-based organization. Nah, man, you good. God knows your heart, man. Nah, man, you can love the Lord and still be a part of this, sis. They make flesh their arm. All these, they make the colors their arm, the letters their arm, their chant their arm. What does that mean by making it their arm? You're making it your ammo, your weapon. That's your weapon to get through life, not the Lord's commandments, not praying to the Lord, but leaning on your organization for everything, depending on your organization for everything, right? Those are the people that make flesh their arm, something carnal. They live for it, they breathe for it, they die for it. I die for my frat brothers, right? They do all these things, right, for their organization, man, making it an idol. All right, let's read this real quick, because this right here is something that they don't understand because they don't read. Hosea 4:6.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
This is talking directly to the Greek fraternities and sororities. You are God's people. That's why he says my people. He says you're going to be destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because spiritually you're already destroyed right now because of your lack of knowledge. Why? Because you reject the knowledge. You reject when people are trying to warn you. You reject when I send prophets to you and prophetesses to you, right? So guess what? He's going to end up rejecting you guys. He's going to give you guys over to a reprobate mind. He's going to make you guys even more proud and say blasphemous things, even though you rejected knowledge, right? And you're not going to be priest to him no more. You're going to be priest to Omega. You're going to be priest to Capitolland. You're going to be priest to all these other things you made that oath to. Because why? You forgot the law of your God. You forgot that God said, don't have no other gods before me. It doesn't mean in order. It means before him, in front of him. You brought him a God. He said, hey, God, I love you. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is my God Omega right here, man. He real cool, though. He can come, right? No, he can't. You can't bring no gods before him. A lot of them thinking, God's at the head of my life. I don't put nothing before God. If you put it before God, that's on you. It's not talking about order. It's talking about order, but it's not talking about putting something over God. You can't put nothing over God. It's talking about bringing something before God, meaning you bringing something to him, something in the midst of him, right? You showing up and there's something else there. God don't want to see that, right? Because you've forgotten the law of your God. He's going to also forget your children. So now your children are going to be all tied up in this stuff too. And you're going to experience these generational curses. Your son might die from pledging. You never know. Your daughter might die from pledging. You never know. You got something to say though, Obadiah?
I want to read this real quick. I already got it on my phone. It's Luke 12:2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So, this is the year of exposing, right? The Most High is exposing a lot this year already. Things in Hollywood, the Epstein files, Pizzagate, all that stuff he's exposing, and even videos of people denouncing from their organizations. And he's doing that for a reason, because on Judgment Day, you're not going to be able to say, I didn't know. Lord, I didn't know this was demonic. I didn't know I was serving another God. Because you have all of these different people that was in these organizations making videos. He put it on their spirit to make videos exposing the things they used to do and telling you it's not of God. So if you can, especially if you don't watch the videos and you heard it, and you continue on to stay in these organizations, that's on you. You choosing to be ignorant at that point. When he's putting it, it's easy. You can just go to the internet, go to YouTube and type up people testimonies, or you can go and look up the ritual books online.
Yeah, there's no excuse, man. And
No excuse.
he's making certain stuff go viral. So he knows it's crossed your eyes. You can't hide from God. You may be able to pretend to us that you haven't seen nothing and nothing's convinced you, but God know. And the reason why that is because Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, right? Because sin is against an evil work. It's not executed speedily, or it might be Ecclesiastes 11 and 8. Either way, that's what it's talking about. They think they have time. If you would go up to a lot of these people, man, and they'd be like, "Hey, look, I got word Christ is coming back tomorrow." You know how many people would stop smoking? You know how many people would denounce? You know how many people? But it's because they think they got time. They don't know how serious it is. I'm thinking about people in my head right now that I know are teetering that line only because of their flesh. But if they knew that Christ was coming soon, they would give a dang about their flesh and they would do what's right. But it's because they think they got time. All right, let's read this, Exodus 20 and 3. Because they want to think that they're not breaking God's commandments and they love God. This is the 10 commandments, man. Let's read this.
Exodus 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
We're not doing devil worship. Show me when I'm worshiping, how I'm worshiping the devil. Show me how I'm demonic. Read your ritual book. Read your ritual book. I'm going to show out how easy it is, right? This is how easy it is, bro. This is how I know y'all have no excuse. This is how easy it is. If I could type in Kappa Alpha Psi ritual book. Right?
PDF for that too. PDF file.
Look. The first thing that pop up, I can click on it, right? This is how easy. This is why God is gonna hold all y'all accountable. This is how easy it is. Okay, I clicked on the first thing that popped up. This is the initiation ritual right before us. Let me go down to not verse number 2, but bullet point number 2. We're at the top of the page. Look how long this is. I'm at the top of the page showing you how easy this is. It says the sacred Delphine shrine is placed in the center of the room.
Bring it out. Bring that out.
The sacred let's look what the Delphine shrine is, right?
Not any shrine, the sacred shrine.
Right.
And then they got the words in red like it's Christ's words. Like Christ speaking. Madness, man.
Let's see what that is, right? The sacred Delphic shrine located on Mount Paranis in Greece. We're not worshiping Greek gods. That's what they're going to. This is all about black culture. We're not worshiping Greek. Come on now. It's in Greece, right? It was a premier ancient sanctuary of who? Apollo. It's a Greek god. And it took us less than 5 minutes. It took us less than 2 minutes to find it. That's all you got to do is do your part, and God will show you that you're breaking this commandment.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Let
me see.
It's so crazy, man. Bro,
let me share my screen.
You can literally go and type this. This ain't hidden information that you gotta try to go and go through 5 or 6 different type of books and stuff to try to find. It's literally you go to the internet and type these things in and it come right up.
Come on, man. So look, man. This is Omega Deer, right? If you see right here on the side where it says official hymn of Omega Psi-Phi. This is the official song of Omega Psi-Phi. Not to mention this looks like a white man that wrote it, really. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the words though, right? See if I can pull this up.
And they'll tell you that you can't sing Omega Deer in public, bro. But it's
why is that?
It's on Google for everyone to see, bro.
Right. This was like the first one that popped up. I mean,
you don't think nobody gonna
for everybody. And this is the official song for Omega Psi-Phi. So this is what they use to represent them. It says Omega Deer. Who's Omega? First of all, it's a God that you have created. We are thy own. So are you the Most Highs? Are you Omegas? You belong to Omega. Thou art our life. You are, when you sing this, you're saying that your life belongs to Omega, our love and our home. Your soul's home is Omega. We'll sing thy praises far and nigh. It's not all praise the most high. It ain't all praise the most high. It's all praise Omega. We love Omega Psi Phi. Watch this. It says, to all thy precepts make us true. I thought the Bible only had the precepts that we needed, right? Live nobly as real men do. Let manhood be our eternal shrine with faith in God and heart and mind, right? And then I'm gonna put you on game. This guy right here isn't the God of the Bible. I'm gonna let you know that right now. The God is talking about is the same God that's saying is that your soul belongs to. Am I saying that you sold your soul, or is this song saying it? This song is saying that your soul now belongs to Omega. Watch at the end right here, right? It says, through days of joy or years of pain to serve thee. Talking about Omega. Last time I checked, the Bible says you can't serve two masters. The Bible says you can't serve two masters. So you singing this, you saying you serve Omega. Hey man, it's not looking too good for you because the Bible says you got to pick one, right? Right? It says, and when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi. Man, before I die, if I say I won't love anybody, man, it's not my family. It better be the Most High. It ain't gonna be no fraternity. It's not gonna be Omega, right? And this is the official song. This is the official song that represents the fraternity, man. Just showing you again how easy it is to show what represents you guys and what you stand for. That you're coming on social media saying, no, that's not true. That's not true. The official song says otherwise.
Come on, man.
Where they say, I'm giving all of my love and my care
My
to this,
peace and happiness.
my peace and my happiness to an organization. And you telling me that's not you selling your soul for the organization if you saying you're gonna give your love, your peace, and your happiness to this God,
It's
but you
crazy,
ain't
man. But
selling your soul?
that's crazy, man. But you
Come
don't
on,
serve
man.
two. You don't serve two masters. Your official song literally says that you serve Omega, bro.
And this how we know, man, because when you get into the Apocrypha and you read about first and second Maccabees, when you had our people going to make a covenant with the heathen, and they said they likened the glory of the Grecians best of all. We see this now. We seeing our people making covenants with these heathen. Like they're calling themselves Greeks. They don't even know exactly who they are for real. And they doing these rituals and these things because they think that they truly Greeks, man. They
It's
this
so
this is who they
crazy.
worship now.
It's so crazy, man, because it's so easy, and it's why they get on social media and they say they're not here to debate and all this stuff because they know when you get in a debate, they're gonna look crazy, man. When you bring simple stuff like this up, there's no way you can talk yourself out of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That stuff has been there since before you was even a member, right? And it's like, bro, you can't talk yourself out of that. You choosing ignorantly to ignore it, bro. That's what it is. And it's like they do with Christmas. Christmas doesn't mean that to me anymore. It just means family to me now. No, bro. It says what it say. That's what represents the fraternity that you are in. That's by default what you represent and represents you.
Come on, man. Trying to see if I want to go into any of these other. Maybe one day, we'll.
Bring them out. We ain't got no but time, man.
Maybe one day we'll go into these, man. But I was gonna go and show that the alphas, man, how the alphas uh, they eat a food sacrifice prepared for to the gods. It says in their ritual book, it says they eat a food sacrifice prepared to the gods, and the gods are talking about the gods of Egypt and Ethiopia, right? The Sphinx, right? But nonetheless, man, it's simple. Just go read and study. But Exodus 23 says, you shall have no other gods before me. This is the 10 Commandments. And we're showing how these other things have become gods, right? And goddesses, right? Exodus 20 and 4. The next verse.
Exodus, Oh, my bad. My bad. Go ahead.
You
God,
good? Nah,
God.
it's still on Obadiah. Or is it on you? Yeah, whoever was reading Exodus 20.
Uh,
I think it's on me. Exodus 20:4. It says, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right, but it's more, right? Verse 5.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them,
Right, stop.
nor serve them."
Right. That's what I'm saying. These are service organizations, and they say that they pledge to serve Alpha, serve Kappa, serve Omega, serve Sigma. They're pledging to serve these entities, and guess what? They also bow down to them.
I'm
You
just saying,
know,
man.
even get hit if they don't bow their head whenever the word is mentioned.
Right. That's what happened to us, right?
Right.
Every time you say Omega, you're supposed to bow your head. It's just crazy to me how in the song you literally saying you serve Omega. So people will look you dead in your eyes and say, "I don't serve Omega, I serve God." No, bro. The bro, to be Omega means to serve Omega, bro. And it's crazy. You can sing that song. You stand around singing a song, talking about something, "We are thine," and like it's crazy to me, bro. You
Yeah.
chanting stuff like we
And
are
they don't,
thine, you own us, and all of this stuff is
yeah,
crazy to me, bro.
and they don't understand that they think in denouncing is something lame and something that you don't gotta do, and it's not all that deep. And denouncing is literally, when you talk about rites and rituals and covenants, you have to denounce stuff that you do not align with. So you can't just say, yeah, I know the song says that, but it's just a song. No, you said it. You vowed to it. You made an oath with your words. You have to denounce it, or God's not gonna see it as it's not a part of you. Because why? It says, "For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God." He's jealous. This is the God that we serve, and you're breaking his commandments. We're at the beginning of the commandments. You're breaking them. Verse 3 to 5.
it's a like it, man. I was gonna say a lot, and it's all linked up with Freemasonry, and it's all linked up with Hollywood. It's like a mini Hollywood, When you're on the college campus, it's like you're on a mini Hollywood, and these organizations they throw up similar hand signs like these people in Hollywood do, because they both are in a cult. They both are in organizations, the Illuminati, and you have these organizations with Greek life. They all go hand in hand. That's why when you see them throwing up the diamond, you see the people in Hollywood, these sellouts, they throw diamonds up. They throw the signal that the nukes be throwing up. They do all these type of things similar because they all are related. They all are connected in one way or in certain ways. That's why you have a lot of people in Hollywood. A lot of people in Hollywood are in them organizations. They went to college. They AKAs. They Q dogs, right? They deltas. So a lot of them are still part of these organizations, man. But you look into this thing, they lay a hand in hand with the Freemasons, man. What you got, it, King?
God, man, they were established so that they would have a pool of people to select from after they graduated college. So that's why they were established to be prospects, right? Divine Nine
For
were just prospects for Freemasons, right? So that it wouldn't be as hard for them to find candidates. They would already know where to go to, which would be these 9 organizations, and for Eastern Stars. Right, let's read this real quick. Galatians 6 and 7.
Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right, don't be deceived, man. You can try to deceive your family and your friends on your social media. You can't deceive God. He's not mocked. You can't mock God and try to change scripture and insert what you want to, right? And repeat it with pride. You can't do that and think God won't see that he's mocked. God's not mocked. Whatever you sow, that's what Obadiah was going into earlier. Whatever you sow is, and all. You wanted that Omega land, I'm gonna give you Omega land. Okay, I'm gonna give it. All your love goes to who? Okay, that's what you're gonna reap. You're gonna reap all those things that you wanted to sow, man. And God's not mocked, right? You can't get over on God. You can get over on everybody else, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people may be like, nah, I don't think they're doing nothing demonic. No, my grandmother was a part of it and she's not demonic. Nah, my cousin's one, bro. He's the best dude, bro. Nah, you can deceive them. God's not deceived. God's not mocked. You can't get over on God, man. Whatever you sow, trust me, it's coming back to you, right? It's coming back to you, man. But that's all I have for tonight. You had something to say, Obadiah?
Yeah, I had something to say. I had a precept, one more precept. But yeah, you also lying. You know, when you part of these organizations, it causes you to lie. And the Bible says we shouldn't lie to one another, because you have to truly lie and act like you ain't doing none of this stuff that these people done said on their denouncing videos. You have to literally tell people, they ask you. Now we ain't no them folks crazy. They lying. I ain't have to do that. You're lying. You're lying to people, man. So it's causing you to sin when you part of these organizations, man. But can you get that scripture, King, you brought up? I think it was the last class about. I think it was in Isaiah 61 when they was worshiping the goddess, and it was like, since we've been worshiping this God, nothing bad has happened to us. You know what I'm talking about?
I think that was Jeremiah 44.
Oh, Jeremiah. Cause I think that's when he was telling them, y'all finna go in slavery, but the Lord gonna protect y'all. And they was like, I don't know about that.
I think it's 44:14. Advance or John, that should skip for me. Might have been because we moving into the word, fury my anger poured out, and the witness of the fathers, statue. Israel, behold, I will set my face against you, punish and dwell. But we will certainly do whatsoever goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense. But since we left off to burn incense, yeah, right here, 44:18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword, by the famine. Right. Verse 16 says, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee. Talking about Jeremiah. Jeremiah saying to denounce. Right. They said, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, right, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, right? And I was going to read in Alpha Phi Alpha how they had a food and drink offering to the gods, right? Drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, right? It's all in our family, right? In the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals. We had plenty of fame and notoriety, like the brother Obadiah was going into. We had plenty of clout, right? Everybody loved us, right? We can get away with so much. We throw in the best parties. We had plenty of victuals. Were we well and were well and saw no evil. We didn't see any, nobody came against us. They said, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen Heaven, if we listen to you and we denounce, we're going to lose all of this, right? And since we stopped pouring out drink offerings unto her, since we stopped going to the party, since we stopped going to the meetings, since we stopped wearing the letters, right? We've wanted all things, man. I done lost my job. I done lost my girl. She don't think I'm cool no more, right? I done lost my friends. They don't think I'm cool no more. They want to fight me and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. You on mute, King. You know that?
Come, man. Like the brother saying though, man. That's how our people was back then. They didn't want to hear the truth, and this how we know we the Israelites. This how we know that we the Israelites, because as a whole, you have people telling you the truth. Like people can literally done did something to tell you not to do it, but people will still want to do it. So Jeremiah telling them, but they still saying, "Nah, we gonna do what we." It just said, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goes forth out of our own mouth. So like we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do. And what I read, what we read on that post on Facebook, that girl say, I ain't denouncing I ain't denouncing nothing. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care what you're talking about. I could be a demon. I could be doing rituals, but I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Same type of spirit that people got now was that same type of spirit back during the time of Jeremiah, man. Same thing going on.
If your question pertains to the lesson, you can go ahead and ask your question. And shalom too. Shalom, by the way. You can go ahead and ask your question. Or what is your question? What is your question? If it don't pertain to the video, I'm not gonna say that we're not gonna answer it, but it might not be on this class. We might make a whole video for you if that makes sense. But go ahead and ask your question though.
You might well, while we waiting, man, you might well pull what you finna pull earlier, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm interested, bro.
No, I'll just let's see. Let me see. That's the other thing. That's the other thing too, man. Why do you need to be blindfolded so much? Right? When you talk about Christ, Christ is always talking about, giving sight to the blind. He's not talking about blindfolding nobody. Come on. It's literally going against what Christ stands for. Let me see.
Especially during the initiation process, like you think you would want somebody to be aware of what they're being initiated into.
It says Google says Job is an Edomite. Is that correct? I would say that Job is not an Edomite. Now, some people, they get their information, however they want to. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into the lineage, there are other Jobs in the Bible. There is a Job that comes out of a lineage of Esau, but there's also another Job that comes out of a lineage from a clan, right? That predates the Israelites, that predates Jacob, right? But so I would say that Job is from a nation that predates the birth of Jacob, whose name was turned to Israel, who progenited the Israelites. Because what we got to understand is not everybody in the Bible was an Israelite, because there were people that were living before Job. I mean, people that were living before the Israelites, right? And so that's our stance on it, is that Job was not an Edomite or an Israelite, but he was some nation that was around before the Israelites.
And also, man, when you say like Google says Job is an Edomite, when you Google who Job was, you're gonna see different takes of what he possibly could have been, and I don't think it really skews to one side or the other. You know what I'm saying? Depending on when you Google it, it's pretty what's the word I want to use? It's pretty balanced across the board of, but I want to say the last time we dove into that topic, more scholars were leaning more towards the fact that he was from a lineage that he was not a descendant of either Israel or Esau, like the brother was saying.
Wow.
Yeah, and truly, yeah, like yeah, man. I just want to say this, like yeah, when the brother was saying, well, he's not a Israelite or Edomite, like just like you think about Abraham or Isaac, right? They came before Jacob. You know, Jacob had 12 sons, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. So there's no way that Abraham or Isaac could have been an Israelite, because that came after them. You know, so that's basically what the brother's saying, man.
Yeah. I think um I want to say they say Job, I want to say it's because of his father and his lineage. At the beginning of Job, I think is it Kenaz, I think, or no, it's not Kenaz, it's somebody. I forgot Job's name. Or anyway, they pretty much take it back to a lineage, and then they go to Genesis, and then they pull up a lineage from the Dukes of Edom, and they say that Job is from that. But I would like to say that he's from another clan that were Shemites, but they were not of Edomite descent or Israelite descent. That's our take on it.
And when you Google it, it says Job was likely an Edomite right now, right? So, and like I said, man, different eras, and when you Google, it'll say different things. But key things to listen here for is it says likely, it's not a definite, and then it says rather than an Israelite, as he lived in a land of Uz, which was located in or near Edom, right? Which we know that the Israelites was everywhere, right? There was going to be Israelites living amongst the Edomites. There's Israelites living amongst a lot of heathens, right? And so there's really no concrete evidence to say whether he was an Israelite, an Edomite, or from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think the point of Job was the point of Job when you read it. But it's important to know that it's our take that it's really not even smart to lay claim on what he actually was, right? Especially in the time frame he was living in. He could have been anything. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll go through this too, man. Just to wrap it up, but this is Alpha Phi Alpha, right? If we go right here, just to skim and see how blasphemous their ritual is, it says the candidate shall kneel and eat the food prepared by the gods for Alpha Phi Alpha, right? This is a food sacrifice. And you go down to 12, it says the candidate shall drink to the health of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Wow.
Right? And then when you go down here, this is the blasphemous part right here. Now, they were doing all that while they were blindfolded. Section 15 says, brought to the light, all members shall say, behold, behold, and the candidate's blindfolds are taken off, and he sees Alpha Phi Alpha, the light of the world.
Wow.
In large letters over the altar.
I thought Christ was the light.
Right. I thought Christ was the light of the world. And it goes on to talk about other stuff too. But yeah, man. So it's not hard. All you gotta do is read these rituals, man, to see how blasphemous they are. But like I said, a lot of these brothers and sisters that join these organizations, they don't read them. They don't even know this stuff is in there. So that's why they're scoffing and mocking so much. They don't know that for a fact they have joined a satanic group. They don't know that. Right. And their pride won't even let them research it, man. But nonetheless, man, hopefully this video was edifying. And to the sister, we may or we may not, I don't know. We may do a lesson on that, like a quick little shortcut on that Job thing, and give you our take on it in the future. So stay tuned for that if we do that. But also we are celebrating our Purim tomorrow. So happy Purim to all those that are celebrating Purim in this Purim season. We're the hopeful elect. And like our big brother Christ said, if you're not gathering, you're scattering. So gather together, O nation, not desire. And we say shalom.
Shalom.